Hello, time for another yo-yo review. This time I have the Sistine from Throwing Sideways. The Sistine is a really interesting idea. Basically, William from Throwing Sideways and Carter Taney from Bangers and Brushes teamed up to make, basically, I've got the note here. We want you to have fun with it. We want you to paint it, beat it up, strip it, and repaint it. We want to make an organic that you wouldn't forget. And what better way to do that than to make a yo-yo that you could create your own art on and make uniquely yours? So basically, they called it the Sistine and gave it a really smooth bowl so that you can paint on it or draw on it or things like that. I'm not a painter, but I'm gonna draw on mine with Sharpie like I used to doodle in high school all over my binders and everything. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. Normally, I like to be really careful with my yo-yos and keep them in really good condition, just so they look pretty on the shelf or whatnot. But since I've gotten to know William recently, and I feel like in the spirit of this yo-yo, it has to be done. Sorry, little guy. That was painful. Never intentionally hurt a yo-yo before. It's not that bad, just a little bit of dings on the rim. Not even sure if you're able to see it in the video. But anyway, so now that it's not pristine and beautiful, pristine Sistine, now that it's not all pristine and beautiful anymore, let's have some fun with this. Like I said, I'm not a painter, and so I'm gonna be doodling on it with Sharpie, like, because in high school I used to doodle all over my binders and everything like that with Sharpies, and so I just thought it'd be a fun way to make this one uniquely mine. All right, so let's get to doodling. I figured I would do a time lapse of the drawing and just kind of voice over a little bit of description of what's going on, as well as some information about the Sistine. So here at the beginning, I was just kind of messing around. That's like a little guy called Mr. Smiley in high school. He's just a little punk rock smiley face with crossed eyes and a tongue sticking out, because I was that kind of emo punk in high school. So yeah, a lot of these doodles are just kind of a throwback to the kind of stuff that I would have drawn back in like freshman year. So about the yo-yo, the Sistine is 45 millimeters wide with a 55 millimeter diameter. It weighs 63 grams and has a 4.45 millimeter string gap. It comes with a center track bearing and a string from Twisted Strings. The string comes in a little paint pot, which is a nod to the creative aspect of the Sistine, that they want you to paint on it and stuff, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. It's pretty clever having the little paint pot there. So this is my first organic shaped yo-yo, so I don't really have a great point of reference to compare it to other organics, but I do have a few other yo-yos that feel similar enough to compare them. Mostly the Circle City Hero is a kind of wing shaped, I guess, but it's very comfortable in the hand, very much like the Sistine here. The Sistine definitely feels floaty to me. I know some people don't really like that term since it's kind of vague. So to me, floaty means it feels light, like it doesn't really feel heavy on the string. The Sistine is a pretty stable throw, without any vibe that I could really notice. Although if I play sloppy and it tilts kind of one way or the other, I feel like it dies a little quicker than some other yo-yo shapes. I assume that's because of the organic shape. The string hits the wall more, and so it slows down a little more if it's off balance at all. But as long as I keep it straight, it plays just as good, just as long as most other mono metals. I really enjoy the feel of it a lot. It fits really comfortably in the hand. And it's funny, the Sistine is a little bit smaller than I thought it would be based on pictures, but it actually feels a little bit wider than I expected. So I guess I'm just not good at judging what a yo-yo will feel like based on pictures, because I feel like I've had that experience with several other yo-yos of like, this feels smaller but looks bigger, that kind of thing. So yeah, you can see from my doodle, I really like this patchwork kind of design. I like this type of thing with tattoos too, where you just have a bunch of random different things that come together to make one cohesive piece. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, is just like the lines connecting things and the stipple work and all that. So on to the new side. So the Sistine feels very good in play. It's got a very smooth finish, so you can definitely do some grinds with it. And it's actually surprisingly pretty good at finger spins, although I will not be doing finger spins with it now after having drawn all over it, because I don't want to accidentally rub off any of this art and stuff. It was a lot of fun drawing it on there, but also it took like 30 minutes. This is a really fast sped up time lapse. And so I don't really want to have to like strip it down and recolor on it. I like having these doodles. I feel like it turned out very well what I wanted it to be. But if you want to do finger spins on it, it definitely can do finger spins very well. Now there's not really a lip for thumb grinds. I could kind of do one if I threw it at a tilt, but like I mentioned earlier, you kind of want to throw it straight for stability. So, throwing it at a tilt isn't the best for that. But yeah, for the very few tricks I know, it definitely feels very nice. And like I said, it plays just as well and just as long as pretty much any other mono metal I've tried. It's just, really good organic there. Now, one thing that I did notice is that at first it felt kind of slippy on some binds. Like I would go for the bind and it would just fall right out. At first I wasn't sure if it was the string or the yo-yo, and so after a while of playing with the string that came with it, I decided to put one of my own strings on it, and that fixed the problem immediately. Now, what I used is Bad Wolf Co. If you didn't know, I'm the guy behind Bad Wolf Co. strings, and so I used both my poly nylon blend and the pure nylon, both in the Goldilocks thickness, which is my standard thickness, and both of those did binds perfectly. And I think what it is the twisted strings is just a tiny bit thinner than my standard thickness. So I definitely would recommend going just a little bit thicker than the twisted strings that comes with it. That said, the twisted strings definitely is pretty good for a bulk poly. Just needs something a little bit thicker, or like I said, it wasn't really a big deal. I could just adjust the way I play a little bit and get it to bind pretty well. Just I couldn't play as sloppy as I normally do. So if you're not as sloppy with your binds as I am, then you'll probably love it. So there we have the completed doodle. Let's finish this review up. All right, so that is it for my review of the Sistine. I had a lot of fun. Here's the, oh man, it's bright. Here's the completed product. Had a ton of fun drawing all over it and everything, but this is a great yo-yo. Definitely a lot of fun to play with. I'd highly recommend this. So the Sistine is still available on the Yoyo Sam website, yoyosam.com, or at the Yoyo Sam. And I believe it's $55. Definitely worth the price right there. So be sure to go check that out at the Yo-Yo Sam on Instagram, or just yoyosam.com, and check out at Throwing Sideways on Instagram, and also his channel here on YouTube for more information about this and about his other throw, the beanie, which I have not had a chance to try yet, but it looks amazing. And he also does yo-yo reviews and stuff here on YouTube. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked this format, I'm trying to mess around with the style of these videos and stuff. So if you liked the voiceover format that we did there, that was a lot of fun for me to do. So let me know in a comment down below or anything. And thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Take care of yourself.